Hello everyone, I'm going to review the first volume of The Witcher Season 3 in this video. When the next volume is released, I'm going to review it too. As you may know, I usually review every episode in separate videos, but this time I'm going to review the two volumes in two separate videos. Let's begin. The first episode is called Shaerrawedd, which I will talk about later in this video. At the end of The Witcher Season 2, we saw that everyone in the continent is looking for Ciri. The Brotherhood, the kings, Rience, the elves, and even her father, Emhyr. Geralt, Yennefer, and Ciri are on the run. The first episode starts where Rience's gang asks the merchant for Ciri and Geralt's whereabouts. Turns out Geralt was outside the merchant's shop, he slashed them all, and the intro started. In the books, there was one dear friend letter from Yennefer to Geralt. However, in the episode, they overused the dear friend letter. Literally, the first 10 minutes of the episode were dear friend letters, and they weren't even close to the source material.
Dear friend, dear friend, dear friend, dear friend.
The problem with Netflix is that the writers and producers want to write a better story than Andrzej Sapkowski. They failed, and the reviews showed that. Why can't they just follow the source material? If they do that, they will satisfy 99% of the audience and they will get better reviews. Just want to tell you, the whole episode is made up, nothing was mentioned in the books, so bear with me in summarizing the important scenes if you consider them important. While the dear friend letters were overused, they also brought some scenes where Yennefer is turning Ciri, which are kinda wholesome, not like the fuck spell in Season 2. Yarpen Zegrin came. He invited them to the Beltane festival down the valley. We now know that they were in Skellige because Beltane is in Skellige and it's actually where Ciri was born. They haven't brought the word though in this season since they messed it up in Season 1.
What's so special about Skellige?
We switched to the elves, nothing important to talk about here except that they introduced a main character called Gallatin that is also made up. We are now in Redania, where King Vizimir II is in charge. They also messed up in the lore here, if not intended. King Vizimir II does not have a brother. In fact, his son was Radovid V or the Stern, which is the one we meet in the game. They brought up a brother called Radovid for King Vizimir. In Beltane, where Geralt, Ciri, and Yennefer were there was a maze for the festival. They went inside and found a Shelmar, they called him Jacky in the series, but either way, neither of them were mentioned in the books. Since the game brought up different monsters, I don't blame Netflix for renaming them, but I do blame them for changing the whole story. At least the game is like a sequel to the books, they didn't follow the source material but instead they added to it. While Netflix is supposed to follow the source material since they are adapting the books, but they are not, and the reviews came out badly. We switched to Dandelion. They finally brought something close to the source material and it was also mentioned in the game. Vespulo was in a relationship with Dandelion, but as was typical from the bard, he was running after other women. In that case, Vespulo was throwing everything at him from the window. This scene happened in the books and was mentioned in the games.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. To think there are men who'll help a stranger out of the kindness of their hearts.
Not entirely out of kindness, and you're not entirely a stranger.
What are you? Oh, I know you. You're that witcher took Dandelion out whoring. Gerald, right?
Not Gerald. Geralt.
Oh, dreadful sorry.
What do you think? Where could Dandelion be?
Probably out whoring. That horse pheasant. That lying scoundrel.
Ouch. What did he do to get your goat?
Same thing as ever. Prize bullshitter came back saying it was till death do we part this time. And no more than a week passed before I spotted him in Harbourside, strolling with some trollop on his arm. 'Twas the last straw. All those questions about the washerwomen at the bathhouse, then this. I beat him black and blue and threw him out on his ear.
Now let's talk about Shaerrawedd. Since Geralt and the others were to camp in Shaerrawedd, before that I just want to mention that they were traveling through the world in an obnoxious way. First, they were in Skellige, and as you may know, Skellige is in Isles, and in fact Kidwin is in another capital. So they're messing up with the geography of the world of the Witcher. Shaerrawedd is in Kedwen, by the way. But what can I say? Back to Shaerrawedd. It was an ancient elven palace which lay in the forest of Kedwen. Elven elders destroyed the palace to prevent invaders from building a city on the foundations. However, the youth objected to this solution. You know, Elren, the Gwent card that summons itself if you control more than 5 elves. It is the same. She led her peers into a suicidal assault against the humans, and that's the story of Shaerrawedd. They also mentioned Elren's story in the show, but the fight scene that happened in the Shaerrawedd never happened in the books. Rience came with his gang, and the elves came to take Ciri, but Geralt and the dwarves protected her and won the fight. At the end, Geralt went on his separate way to find and kill Rience, while Ciri and Yennefer were going to Aretuza. That's it for the first episode, nothing else worth mentioning. The second episode is called Unbound. Geralt and Dandelion went to Codringer and Fen to find information about Rience. They told them of Rience doing his dirty business in a castle called Volpane. He went to this castle and found false Ciri, which should have a huge role in the story, but I don't know what Netflix will make use of her. Another thing that happened at the end of season 2 is that Cahir and Fringilla were taken as prisoners for Emir. Cahir escaped, he was fighting guards and was about to die, but since he is linked to Ciri by destiny, which is a story brought up by Netflix, Gallatin, the elf that I mentioned before, turns out to be Cahir's best friend. He saved him from death, so Cahir is back. Rience heard about the Witcher visiting Codringer and Fen, so he burned them alive even though they didn't tell him about Rience's employer, which is different from the books. In the books, Codringer and Fen died by the hands of Shiro, the elf that is in Gwent, the Witcher card game. Back to Geralt. False Ciri had been brainwashed by Rience, or his employer, to think that she is the real Ciri. Geralt took her from the castle while she was unconscious. After she woke up, she told Geralt that she is Ciri, and the episode has ended. Not much to talk about for this episode. Next, episode 3, Reunion. Geralt and Dandelion took false Ciri to Annika and Otto. A druid taught by Vicina, or at least Annika did, and she taught Otto. Annika and Otto were made up by Netflix, but at least they stayed to the lore in this one by mentioning Vicina. We switch to Yennefer. Good thing they stick to the source material in the upcoming scenes, at least for a while. Yennefer went to Giancardi Bank and asked for a chaperone for Ciri. We meet Fabio Sachs. Fabio guided Ciri around the city. He treated Ciri to some donuts from the marketplace. They happened upon a fake basilisk on display. The wyvern broke out and Ciri killed him. Because of this incident, Ciri decided to flee, not because the crowd blamed her for angering the wyvern, same as the books, but because Yennefer told her to be discreet and she failed. She ran into Margaret Lowe and Teal, and Tisea de Vries. Yennefer was also there. They didn't know that she was Ciri. They thought that she was one of the missing novices. Yennefer told them that she is her ward. Tisea made a staring contest on Ciri.
Look at me. Don't you dare take your eyes off me.
Her eyes bled. They went into the Silver Heron Inn and took a bath. Ciri was pouring wine for them. In the books, she was bathing with them instead of being a maid. She got angry of pouring wine and ran to a private place to chat with Yennefer. They exchanged a conversation, leading Ciri to run away from this misery. While she was on the run, searching for Geralt, the Wild Hunt pursued her, or at least a cloud of them, let's say. They told her to join them. Geralt appeared behind them. He used R to fight the Wild Hunt cloud, and they're gone. Parts of the armor they were wearing appeared. Ciri knew that they were real, not illusions. And the episode has ended. There is a lot of stuff that happened in Redania, Elves, and Nilfgaard, but I don't want to spoil everything, so let's go to the next one. This episode is called The Invitation. This episode talks about how Yennefer managed to invite everyone in the north to Aretuza as a conclave to form an alliance against Nilfgaard. Geralt, Ciri, and Dandelion traveled by boat to Aretuza, from Skellige I presume, since they were in Beltane. The geography is messed up in the series. Ciri was in a city called Gorsvelen, which is at the northern coast of the North Sea in Temeria. in the Wyvern incident. Then they went to the Silver Heron Inn, which is also in Temeria. How do they travel by horse in these situations? I don't understand, but that's that, I guess. Before traveling by the boat, we meet Valdo Marx, a poet and a musician from Sidaris and a rival of Dandelion. In fact, Valdo was the object of Dandelion's first wish when he found the jinn's bottle, requesting the jinn make Valdo die of apoplexy. Unfortunately, the jinn wasn't obligated to fulfill Dandelion's wishes.
Firstly, may Valdo Marx, the troubadour of Sidaris, be struck down with apoplexy and die.
On their travel, they fought an Aishna, or Glustiwarp, the carp from Gwent, that is supposedly lives in swamps, not the sea, but that is Netflix for you. They reached Aretuza and Yennefer was waiting for them. Dandelion and Ciri hid in a nearby house, while Geralt and Yennefer went to the Conclave. Yennefer went to an illusion previously in this episode. They blamed Stregobor for it. The illusion was her fighting Geralt. When Geralt arrived to Aretuza, she told him about the illusion. Geralt wanted to kill Stregobor for what he's done, but Yennefer told him not to until they find a solid proof. They went to the Conclave and the episode ended. The final episode of the volume is the Art of Illusion. It's all about the party at the Conclave. Geralt and Yennefer with some others plan to distract Stregobor so Yennefer can go to his chamber and find some proof of him doing the illusion. They were successful, unless Stregobor wasn't the one who did it. The next morning, Geralt and Yennefer found out that Stregobor wasn't their man, Vilgefortz is the one. A fight happened in Aretuza and Dijkstra had put a knife in Geralt's throat, told him that he should have picked a side. Because previously, at the Conclave, Dijkstra and Philippa were there acting on their king's behalf. Dijkstra talked to Geralt, told him that Ciri should be on Redania and well protected. Geralt refused. In the end, after he put a knife on, the episode ended. In the books, this is called the Thanid Coup, where the fight between mages happened. There is a preview of the next upcoming episodes, and from what I see, they're gonna bring the Rats, which is a group of people who will take care of Ciri when she jumps into Torzirael. I don't want to spoil the fun, but the next volume is gonna be interesting, and I hope they don't mess it up like this one. Thanks for watching my review. Please subscribe, like this video, and share it everywhere, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.